Hey girl, what's up? You wanna fuck?
Hey gamers, you want a game? Well, that's too bad, because instead we're talking about a fairly recent bombshell that has exploded upon the internet scene. Before we really dive into the situation surrounding Jared Knaubenbauer and discuss the effect it's had on normal boots, I feel it's appropriate that we give a little backstory on who the man is, given a surprising amount of people are still unaware of who he is despite him having over 1 million subscribers about a couple weeks ago. Jared's online career started in 2009, moving to Texas to work closely with the website ScrewAttack.com. Rest in peace, rest in peace. He hosted hard news on Screw Attack, among having involvement in other Screw Attack affairs, pun not intended. A year later, he would upload his review of the game Two Worlds for the Xbox 360 onto his channel, then called DM Jared. He would become a part of Normal Boots when it relaunched in 2014, with other notable creators such as JonTron and Peanut Butter Gamer. Jared, at one point, was quite prominent within the gaming community. He was a regular on the Game Grumps show Grumpcade, though videos featuring him have since been deleted. He was able to interview Reggie Fils-Aimé, who, I'm not sure if you know this, was the CEO of Nintendo for a long while. He's even made an appearance on television, appearing as a guest in the Nickelodeon show Game Shakers, created by Dan Schneider. We'll touch on the coincidence with that later on in this video. Now, it begs the question, is this necessarily deserved? In other words, was his content exactly all that good in the first place? Jared's reviews are sparingly put out, with only 1 to 3 really being uploaded each year. Now, that's not to say that he only uploads this much, as he uploads different types of content, but it's not exactly a substitute for his normal Pro Jared reviews. Annually, he will produce videos creating E3 press conferences based upon which games were revealed and in what manner they were revealed in. And while these aren't bad videos necessarily, they don't exactly offer anything outstanding in either presentation or writing. He also does the classic best and worst games of each year, and these are inoffensive enough, but are very formulaic. The videos that really made Jared popular were his Pro Jared reviews, and as far as video game reviews go, they remained committed to the definition of a review. Compared to his Normal Boots peers, his videos did not offer any outstanding traits or shook up the status quo that was expected of video game reviews at the time. I think the best way I can convey my idea is if I threw in all the video game reviewers into a blender and sanded off the edges of the final product. That is what the average Pro Jared video feels like. At 8:45 p.m. on May 8th, Jared tweeted out a statement that you can read on screen now. By now, most of you have become acquainted with this, so I won't waste any more time. Promptly after tweeting this, Jared had blocked his wife Heidi O'Farrell, a fairly popular cosplayer. After learning this, Heidi let the cat out of the bag, revealing that Jared had been boning Holly Conrad, another YouTuber who is the ex-wife of Ross O'Donovan. She kept a long thread going on Twitter detailing the types of abusive behavior Jared had subjected her to. While he was cheating, he was actively manipulating her feelings about their relationship, trying to convince her that she was the one who was causing the issues in the marriage. Jared tried to vilify Heidi in the situation. Likely this was done to curtail any suspicion that he was unfaithful to her. Despite his best efforts though, Heidi caught on and claims to have evidence of the affair, confronting Jared with such, but somehow was able to dodge any claims she made against him. Not only that, but he restricted her from being involved in his friend group. Again, this was probably done to lower the odds of her finding out about the affair, and also resist possible contradiction, as he told his friends an altered series of events that omitted the mention of any infidelity. His manipulative effort to try and spin the story in his favor can be seen in his statement. As he dismissively states, "I ask that you make your own observations and come to your own conclusions," in an effort to try to get his fans to believe that Jared would not do anything bad and to take his word at face value. He also humorously states, "Heidi's privacy, mental well-being, and discretion has been and will remain my highest priority." Yeah, I'm sure while you were banging Holly and manipulating everyone around you, you kept her at your top priorities. Besides his infidelity, Jared is also in hot water for something arguably more damning than this: Allegedly, Knaubenbauer has been sexually soliciting nudes from fans of his, some of whom happened to be underage at the time. Heidi has stated that the rumor of Jared owning a Tumblr blog for nudes was true, but she approved it on the grounds that it was for consenting adults, but of course this would come to be tested. He claimed it to be a place to support body positivity, even though that's completely heinous, but perhaps that's besides the point. Using his Tumblr and his nude Snapchat, he would attempt to pillage nude photographs of his fans for his own sexual pleasure, and in proper etiquette would send pictures of his Subway sandwich back to them.
I've been watching.
Dozens of individuals have posted their experiences of coming into contact with Jared's NSFW, Tumblr, and Snapchat and how uncomfortable it made them feel. I'm personally astonished that this had occurred without a hitch from anyone in the community. Like, how had they not been aware of this? Had no one really mentioned it, and/or did they turn a blind eye? The answer is unclear, but I want to take the time to kinda have a bit of a one-on-one with my audience since I know it skews towards the younger side. And even still, this advice could still be applied to adults as well. Please, do not, I repeat, do not send suggestive pictures of yourself under any circumstances. For one, if you are underaged, this is plain and simple illegal. No questions asked. It is illegal. Secondly, anyone wanting these things only seeks to harm and take advantage of you. This is not the only way to get your favorite content creators to notice you. Draw them fan art, make a song for them, or just express how much you love their videos and they will notice you. It doesn't even have to be good by your standards. They will notice you. The fact that you would take the time out of your day to create something in dedication for them is really what matters in the long run. And even if they don't, that's okay, because these people get a ton of messages daily and unfortunately can't see all of them. So please, whatever you do, don't send them suggestive photos even if they are specifically asking for them. And please tell someone if they are. Your parents, the authorities, any adult you can trust, or even just post about it on social media with proof. The situation will be handled swiftly. Heidi's tweets sent the internet into an absolute frenzy. Many people started to make memes as fast as possible, which I thoroughly enjoyed, but I wanted to focus on those directly affected by these revelations and analyze their reactions. Holly Conrad is the former wife of YouTuber Ross O'Donovan and is the woman whom Jared has been having an affair with. Her reaction, oddly enough, mimics the same type of dismissive rhetoric that Jared used in his statement. Firstly, she replied to his statement offering help to Jared through his divorce. Hindsight definitely reveals a hidden truth to this tweet, though her ensuing tweet does her no favors in keeping the heat off of her. She states, "If you want to believe a hyperbolic statement from someone you don't know on the internet with no previous background information and use it to demonize strangers, then so be it. If it's worth anything, you all know me. I'd never hurt anyone, and I only want the best and happiness for those around me. If you've followed me for a long time, you know that." Oddly enough, these two statements trying to persuade her followers to feel two different ways conflict with each other directly. She wants us to dismiss Heidi's statement, claiming she is just someone who we don't know on the internet, but immediately tries to get people to believe her and trust her, wantingly calling, "You all know me, I'd never hurt anyone." Not only do these statements contradict each other, but it's kind of manipulative towards her fans. She's trying to channel her use of emotions to try and get her fans to stay with her, communicating that if they truly knew her, they would. And if they don't, then they aren't true fans. It's also noteworthy that she makes no claims, not stating that Heidi's statements are outright wrong, but trying to convince her fans that it's just hyperbole. The way she speaks also telegraphs clearly that she was at least aware that Jared was cheating, as any normal woman in her position who was unaware of this would be livid at the fact that Jared would lie to them like this, telling them that he was at least getting a divorce when this was not true. Thus, she would communicate this clearly to her audience and would probably have little to no heat on her, as she would be presumed to be also a victim in this situation. The fact that she made no such claim exactly tells us that she knew exactly what was going on, yet chose to do nothing about it. Austin Hargrave, otherwise known as Peanut Butter Gamer, is another Normal Boots creator with over 1 million subscribers, similarly to Jared. His reaction to the situation is also very noteworthy. Soon after Heidi made her tweet, Austin responded saying, "This ain't it, Chief," basically attempting to undermine anything she had to say. Of course, this response backfired and many called him out, citing a similar controversy surrounding JonTron after his controversial statements he said during a debate with Destiny, to which Austin promptly called out John for what he said. Later that day, Austin apologized on Twitter, stating that he had jumped the gun due to being convinced over a long period that Jared was innocent. Whether this was said to damage control or out of honesty is anyone's guess, though. I truly do believe that Austin is being honest. After all, it is most likely that he was also a victim of Jared's manipulation as well. I will be compiling these reactions into one section for the sake of time, since each are quite short. Normal Boots, as stated before, is a video hosting website for gaming-related content started by John Jafari and Austin Hargrave, created as a place for them to host their content as the threat of termination had loomed over them. They released a statement on the afternoon of May 9th, stating that they were dropping Jared from Normal Boots, and good for them on that. It also reveals that Normal Boots had been directly alerted to Jared's solicitation of nudes from minors knowingly on May 4th. They alerted Jared about this, so perhaps his statement was made because of this. Gerard Khalid, also known as the Completionist, is another video game reviewer committed to completing every task in any given video game. Upon the allegations breaking out, Gerard publicly announced that he would be donating a large sum of money to a charity to illustrate how much he cares about the situation. I guess. I mean, I'm not quite sure as to if this was necessary, but the idea is still quite nice, so I commend Gerard for doing this. Following suit, Shane Gill, creator of Did You Know Gaming, also donated to Nami. It's sad, really, how far Jared has fallen from grace. He was once a well-respected creator who had many adoring fans, yet he took advantage of said fans in a despicable manner, and I am personally repulsed to have witnessed some of the things he sent to his fans. It's kinda cruel how an irrelevant YouTuber such as himself was able to cause such a storm on social media to get himself even trending at some point. It's almost impressive. Almost. Well, congratulations, Jared. You cheated. And not only have you cheated on your wife, but you cheated yourself. You didn't grow, you didn't become a better person, capable of outsmarting the best of them. You experienced a shallow feeling of pleasure, there was little to gain but all to lose. It's sad, really, that you don't realize the gravity of your actions. That's why my final rating for this is a broken marriage out of 10. With that said, I must bid you all farewell, and I must go and now play Dance Central on the Kinect. Goodbye.